Hello, how you doing? It's me, it's Jim, the guy that apparently runs this YouTube channel. I'm actually doing a video on my channel in person. What a crazy time we live in. Actually, we are living in very crazy times, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this video. To bring you some top-notch football comedy content, as per of course, but also to check in with you guys to see how you're doing in what is some very weird times in the world right now. And I think sometimes we do need a little bit of light relief, and that's exactly what my YouTube channel is all about. Before we go anywhere, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet. If this is the first video you're watching, fair play, but there are a lot of other, probably better videos to go and check out, so make sure you check them out as well. But if you haven't yet, subscribe and hit the little bell so you get a notification every time I do a new video, whenever that is. Now for this video, I'm going to be ranking the Premier League managers in their touchline attire, because why not? This is from an article that I wrote for ESPN a few months ago, but who reads articles anymore? So I thought I'd do it in video format for you guys as well. Right, let's go on with the list. Before we do that, I have started a coffee.com account, which a lot of creators are using so that their followers can chuck them a few quid here and there. I don't make a lot of money from these videos. I know now and then you'll have seen I've done sponsored videos, but they're very rare for me. So mainly I just do this for the love and because I like creating funny content. So if you're enjoying it, and if you're over 18 and able to, you can chuck me a couple of quid at my coffee account. Although I prefer tea, I'll be honest, but either way, it doesn't matter. The link is below this video as well. Any support from you guys, much appreciated. But even if you can't, that's cool. Even if all you can do is send me a nice message in the comments or on Instagram, or give me a like on this video, or share it with your mates, that's totally cool as well. However you can support me, I do really appreciate it. Right, on with the list. Now, regular viewers to my channel will know that fashion and sartorial elegance is something that's really important to me. Where has this love for fashion come from? I don't know, because I do not dress fashionably at all. But even so, I can't help noticing football managers on the touchline during games and what they're wearing. And so I've compiled the essential and very necessary list of Premier League managers ranked by their touchline attire. Starting with 20th place, which goes to Chris Wilder. Wilder is absolutely nailed on to win Manager of the Season this year, whatever is happening with the Premier League, whenever that gets restarting, for some, quite frankly, incredible achievements with Sheffield United. I mean, I did a video at the start of the season where I predicted every Premier League team's place, and I may have put Sheffield United 20th, actually, and they're obviously not going to finish there. In fact, they might finish in a Europa League place. They've done absolutely amazing. Having said that, none of that excuses him for attempting to bring the gilet back to football. Did he learn nothing from Tim Sherwood? He looks like a sort of friendly but ultimately quite incompetent PE teacher. And I'm putting out a plea to the Premier League bosses here. There needs to be a rule in place where any manager caught wearing a gilet on the sideline is automatically docked 3 points from his team. I mean, even that actually probably wouldn't be enough to send Sheffield United down. They've done that well this season. And I'm sure that Wilder himself, if he ever saw this video, though why would he be watching, would appeal my decision and say that actually gilets are completely harmless. Harmless. Sorry. In 19th place, Nigel Pearson. Now, I'll let on a little secret to you guys. I am very scared of Watford boss, Nigel Pearson. Really hope he's not watching. But he has the aura of an ex-army major who absolutely does not approve of you dating his daughter. He takes life very seriously, and the only TV programme he watches is Newsnight. He doesn't find any of your jokes funny, and he absolutely wholly disapproves of your job in social media. Straighten your tie! Get a haircut! Like Chris Wilder, he's also been known to try the gilet from time to time, although I'm not going to be the one to tell him that he can't wear it. I'm absolutely terrified of this gentleman, not just because of his steely-eyed stare on the touchline, but because of his post-match manner in press conferences.
You are an ostrich. I think you're either being very, very silly or you're being absolutely stupid.
Nigel, I'm both. In 18th place, not doing very well this season, bit like his football team, it's Graham Potter from Brighton. Now, I've been through a lot of photos for this ranking, checking out every manager's different choices on the sideline. Graham Potter never deviates away from his trusty old Nike tracksuit with GP monochromed at the top. He wears it to football matches, he wears it to training, he wears it to the shops, he wears it on nights out, he wears it to funerals, he probably wears it to bed. And I'd imagine at this point he's probably got a nickname for it, and judging by how dull Graham Potter is, it's probably something like Tracky. I'm wondering if he thinks it's some sort of like good luck charm, although I'm surprised he's still wearing it because judging by Brighton's results, they've had not much luck recently. In fact, they haven't won a game in 2020. Graham, it's probably time to switch it up and try something else. Get rid of the tracksuit, ditch it, just do something different. In 17th place, David Moyes. The West Ham manager clearly is stuck in the past. We know this because of his tactics, but it's the same of his touchline sartorial choices. He's the only manager I could find in this ranking, or indeed anywhere in the world, who is still wearing a cardigan. David, it's not 2005. When he couples his cardigan and West Ham club tie with that oversized overcoat, he looks a bit like a sort of a priest on his day off, but there is absolutely nothing holy about this outfit. Recently, David, of course, has been donating his spare time to delivering groceries to the vulnerable in London during the COVID pandemic, and that is absolutely applaudable. Fair play for David. And that means actually that his outfit will probably be improving because he'll be donning one of those quite nice little polo shirts that delivery drivers have, which I think actually is maybe something he should continue going forward. It might get him further up the rankings. In 16th place, Dean Smith from Aston Villa. There are really strong vibes of an office manager on Dress Down Friday with Dean Smith. You know he wants to be wearing a tie. He's desperate to be wearing a tie, but he knows that he needs to appear more friendly and approachable to his employees. So on a Friday, he takes his tie off. He even goes down the pub after work with them. He has one drink before going back to the office, getting his things and going home, because he is a professional. All right, he's serious about his job, but he does like to let his hair down sometimes, hence why he takes the tie off. You can see in this photo how uncomfortable he is at not wearing a tie, but fair play to him for doing so, because it has got him further up the rankings. So well done, Dean, just outside the relegation places for you, which is probably somewhere I'd expect you'd be very happy if Aston Villa finished this season. In 15th place, Eddie Howe from Bournemouth. There's something not quite right about Eddie Howe, because it says on his Wikipedia page that he's aged 42, but we can clearly tell from looking at this photo he's 25 at most. No way is he 42. And if he is, what's his secret? What skin lotion is he using? Because he looks fantastic. Howe's touchline attire and his general kind of sort of smug attitude is reminds me of sort of a prefect or a head boy who doesn't really do much work and is only actually prefect or head boy at the school because his dad has donated a large amount of money to open the new sports hall there. He doesn't get criticised by the teachers much, doesn't have to do much work, and all he's got to do if he gets in trouble is reference the phrase Howe Hall and he'll get let off. Classic Eddie Howe. In 14th place, Jose Mourinho. I swear Jose Mourinho used to be quite a snazzy dresser, but recently, and this is much the same with his managing tactics, he seems to have just completely given up. Most recently on the touchline for Tottenham, he's been wearing trousers that don't really fit, smart shoes and an overcoat that makes him sort of look like a bus driver on his day off. That's right, I said it. His look, coupled with that lazy buzz cut, just makes me think that Jose has given up, and that's why he has slid down my rankings to a fairly safe mid-table place. Come on, Jose, you can do better. In 13th place, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Much like his Man United team, Solskjaer doesn't like to venture away from the tried and tested, which is why he'll only ever wear a suit and a tie that it looks like he's got from Marks and Spencer's for a wedding that he forgot he needed a suit for. And even so, there's something of the young kid on work experience about him. It just doesn't quite look right. Even Daniel James is unimpressed. And he looks a little bit out of his depth and that he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's trying his hardest to fit in. Man United fans will probably feel like that describes his managerial style at Old Trafford as well. And because he's trying quite hard, I've given him a safe mid-table place in my rankings. In 12th place, Nuno Espirito Santo. There's something quite likeable about the Wolves manager, even though he does look like Nathan Redmond after the lockdown. And in his classic Adidas 3-stripe tracksuit look, I can't work out if he looks like he's going for a run or about to drop some sick beats in the latest, hottest grime group from East London. Having said that, I think the beard is more sort of C6 Steve than Beastie Boys, but he doesn't really seem to care about what anyone thinks, Nuno, and I respect him for that, and that's why he is 12th in my manager rankings. In 11th place, Jurgen Klopp. What's this? Jurgen Klopp in the bottom half of the Premier League. That's absolutely unheard of. But in my rankings, you have to make more of an effort than the Liverpool boss does if you want to get to the top. With his club tracksuit, white trainers, baseball cap, he sort of just looks like a personal trainer on a day off. And actually, I haven't said that. Who wouldn't want to have Jurgen Klopp as a personal trainer? He'd be amazing. That positive attitude, that big smile. You'd do anything for him. I'd bench press my own body weight for him. I reckon I could run the London Marathon, I could enter Ironman, I could do anything if Jurgen Klopp was my personal trainer. He should go into that after retiring as a manager. Although you do get the impression that beneath that friendly smile, there's a dark side. And if you didn't get down and give him 10, I think you'd know about it. Anyway, regardless of all that, the tracksuit's been done. It's a bit lazy. The glasses are quite smart, but altogether, you can do better, Jurgen, sorry. Into the top 10, and at 10 is Frank Lampard. Now, I like Frank Lampard, but his choices on the touchline give him a strong PE teacher vibe, former star pupil, back to the place where he had all his former glories, and he's now PE teacher, and he takes his job very seriously. In fact, there's been quite a few complaints from parents about how much he is drilling the under-13s in their training, but he gets results, and that's why the school will never sack him. It's a bench jacket, it's trainers, it's tracksuit bottoms, and actually it does kind of work for him. He'd probably be higher up if he didn't wear a snood. Frank, it's not 2011, come on. At number 9, Brendan Rodgers. Although Rodgers isn't adverse to wearing club tracksuit gear on the touchline, when he wears a suit, there's quite strong second-hand car salesman vibes about him. You know, the big watch, the fancy belt, the life-size portrait of himself hanging up in his hallway. I mean, this guy's a success, and he wants you to know about it. And to be fair, this season he kind of is. Leicester are doing very well, so for that reason, he's jumped into my top 10 at number 9. At number 8, Ralph Hasenhüttl. The Southampton boss is really quite likeable, but he dresses like the CEO of a new startup media company who's really into cycling, and he's going to tell you all about his latest cycling trip, whether you want to hear about it or not. Ralph, please stop talking about cycling, I'm just trying to eat my lunch. But what gets him up my rankings is the little personal touches. That turtleneck underneath the Under Armour jacket. I mean, it shouldn't work, but it kind of does. Is that what people wear in Austria now? I don't know. I don't know what fashions are like in Austria. But fair play for Ralph, you know, it kind of works, so he's in at number 8. At number 7, Sean Dyche. The way the Burnley boss dresses has got very strong nightclub bouncer vibes about him. I feel like I've been told, "Not tonight, mate," by Sean multiple times throughout my life. The big jacket, the giant tie, the eyes that have definitely seen some things. You don't know the things he's seen. And because I'm ultimately quite scared of Sean Dyche, I've put him quite high up the rankings, so he's in at number 7. At number 6, Mikel Arteta. The only manager in my rankings I could find that wears chinos on the touchline. It looks like he's actually dressed up for a night out to go to the nightclub where Sean Dyche is bouncer. Will Sean let him in? Yeah, I'm leaning towards probably not. But it's quite a nice outfit. I mean, those shoes look nice as well. And that jacket clearly costs quite a lot of money. And much like his Arsenal team, Arteta likes to go for style over substance on the touchline. At number 5, Steve Bruce. The way Steve Bruce dresses and carries himself on the touchline has all the aura of an undertaker who spent years in the job and has just realised this isn't the career for him. He'd much rather be doing something else, like his side passion, crime writing, but it's probably too late for him to change career paths. It's a real shame. Having said that, surprisingly suave for someone that once had a cabbage thrown at his head. Into the top 4 now, and we start at number 4 with Roy Hodgson. Who doesn't love Roy Hodgson? Apart from Liverpool fans. He's the oldest manager in the Premier League, and he dresses like a backbench MP who's held his seat since the 60s and is never going to get voted out by his constituents, even though he doesn't really do anything in the House of Commons apart from sit at the back and go "hear, hear" every few minutes. Having said that, quite a snappy dresser for a 72-year-old, so he gets into my top 4, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I'm a Crystal Palace fan. At number 3, Carlo Ancelotti. Look, it's a lazy generalisation, but I'm going to say it. Mob boss. There, I said it. Look at that overcoat. That is absolutely fantastic. Matched with that steely stare, that one raised eyebrow, and a cardigan. I was wrong about the cardigans earlier. Someone else is wearing one, but can you imagine David Moyes pulling off the cardigan with this amount of panache and style? Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. I'll never be a gangster, will I? At number 2, Pep Guardiola. You thought he was going to be number 1, didn't you? You thought Pep was going to be number 1. I don't blame you. Pep Guardiola for years has been the best dressed manager in the world. Whether he wears suits, whether he wears tracksuits, whether he wears knitwear, whether he wears that weird coat cardigan combo thing that he was obsessed with last season, he always looks really good doing it. Having said that, he does give off the vibe of a motivational speaker who's also a techno DJ at weekends, which does lose him points in my rankings. But you cannot deny that for years, Pep Guardiola has been the best dressed manager in the Premier League and in the world, but he's not number 1 in my rankings because number 1 spot goes to Daniel Farke, the Norwich City boss. Yes, the Norwich City boss is the best dressed manager in the Premier League for me, even though his team, Norwich City, are probably the worst. Farke is never seen out of his trademark Parker, and as I'm saying that, I'm just realising that Farke's Parkers need to be a thing. Why is Farke's Parkers not a thing? That's so obvious. He needs to set that up as soon as he leaves football. No, he needs to set that up now. In fact, Daniel, if you need a hand promoting Farke's Parkers, you know where I am. He looks like the roadie to a German mid-90s prog rock group who had one hit in England and then split up, and they've now reformed because they really need the money, but actually it turns out the roadie is the coolest member of the group. He doesn't seem to care what people think, he has an effortless style, and he looks absolutely fantastic. It's just a shame that he won't be in the Premier League next season. So there you go, that was my ranking of Premier League managers' touchline attire from 20 to 1. Did you agree with the ranking? Do you think that Daniel Farke should be top? Do you think that Farke's Parkers should be a thing? Drop a comment below and let me know what you thought. Maybe drop your 1 to 20 of Premier League managers' style choices that you would go with. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this video, and please check out my other videos as well. I've got lots and lots of football comedy going on the channel. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, or Instagram is where I tend to hang out most. Follow me, send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. It's great to connect to my fans on there, and drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed this. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 likes for this one. I know that my channel recently hasn't been very populated, but I'm trying to do more stuff now and get it back up to where it was, and we're very close to 100,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. So let me know what you think I should do when I get to 100,000 for a video special. I'd love to hear your thoughts. In the meantime, take care, stay safe. I'll see you again soon.